And with that, we'll switch the time zone and location. And our second speaker is Razan Rahala from Poland, who's now currently in Poland. And I'm having a tough time pronouncing her name properly, but I'm doing my best. And she holds a degree in pharmacy, but her true passion is filmmaking. She's an acclaimed Sudanese director and filmmaker, and is now in Poland, where she's finishing her master's degree. She's the creator of several award-winning short films which portray the daily life in Sudan, and she will be speaking about the relevance of spiritual well-being, or so-called light work, for creating peace and what the role of art is in this context. So Razan, I muted you before, so you'll just have to unmute yourself, and then the stage is all yours.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, hello everyone. My name is Razan Rahama. I am a Sudanese artist and I currently live in Poland. I came to Poland in 2018 to study culture, media and society, and I'm currently working with children as a part-time teacher. So before I go to my topic, I would like to show my sincere gratitude for this amazing opportunity to speak about some of the ideas that came to my mind during the time of the lockdown. And I'm very happy that I will be sharing them with you tonight. So today, so thank you, Isabel, for this kind invitation. I also like to thank Miriam for encouraging me to go for a topic that I was passionate about, despite my hesitation, because my topic speaks about art, science, and pseudoscience. However, we are lucky because we have the light, which is the link between the physical world and the world beyond the physical, since it acts in a two-way form. So I will go with my topic, which is the use of art in a light work activism. What does it mean? Before we go to that, I will give a little bit background about myself. I grew up in Sudan, where I spent almost all my life. And in Sudan, the whole idea of mysticism is quite popular. And we have heard many stories about people who have reached higher stages of consciousness because of some kind of spiritual rituals, and they have managed to manipulate time and reality and space. For me, that was fascinating. And at that time, I was a curious teenager. And after we grew up a little bit, my mom have decided to continue with her studies. So she started to study psychology. And one day I found the topic of pseudoscience in one of her books. For me, that was captivating, and not only because it gives academic explanation for the phenomena that I have mentioned earlier, but also because I carry a sincere appreciation for mystical or Sufi people, because they are holding a high level of morals and ethics, and they inherited that from their Islamic prophet, who stated that he came as a prophet to complete the sets of morals and ethics. So I always had an admiration for mysticism, and I started to read more about those topics. So I started to read more about the chakras, and it opened my horizon into a new perspective in life. I started to see reality from a different perspective. And for you who don't know the chakras are the energy centers in the body, which hold the same colors of the rainbow, which is the visible light of our reality. And I have managed to connect that with human emotions, and it allowed me to have more understanding for the human emotions, and I also connected it with my art. And later on, it became my gate for the world of spiritual healing through artwork. So now, what is light work? Let's go back a little bit for the subatomic level of the atoms. We know that the electron is present at a certain level, and when it gets hit by a photon, it ascends to a higher orbit or a stage, and at some point it will give away that energy, and then it goes back to its original form. So the light worker is basically doing the same thing. They are receiving energy and they're giving away that energy, which means that all of us here basically in life are light workers, because we are receiving energy and we are giving that energy. However, the type of light work that I have found myself that pretty much connected with is the spiritual light work. What is spiritual light work? Well, we have been taught that energy and matter are the two sides of the same coin, right? However, the quantum physicist Richard Gerbert suggested that The matter is basically frozen light. What does it mean? What does it mean? Let's go back a little bit to our Nobel Prize winner. What's his name? Okay, we'll get back to his name later. He stated that the stages of consciousness are divided into 17 ranks, and in mysticism is 1,000. So he stated that conscious human emotions such as fears, lust, and greed are vibrating in slow wave at the bottom level, and at the top we have enlightenment, peace, and love. And Joe Dispenza, the author of the book Becoming Supernatural, stated that the conscious thoughts such as fears and greed and lust slows down until it reaches the point of becoming solid. So from all these ideas, we realize that the thoughts are really strong, have a really strong impact on our reality. And then sometimes there is an error occurs during the transformation of a thought to a physical form. And that's where we need the light worker to adjust or to help others to find the light within themselves. But why the spiritual light worker should have certain characters? Well, because the process of light work through healing acquires someone who is truly genuine and willing to share that energy from the deepest levels of their soul. Therefore, they should be vibrating in a higher state of peace and love, because they are sharing that from their own energy. So this is how I become pretty much interested in the whole idea of healing through light. So we have many experiments that you can find about the impact of the souls on our physical reality, such as the double slit, which is the most famous experiment in quantum physics, or the Masaru's Emoto experiment on water, that the way we address water can change from the microscopic letter in the crystalline form of the water. So this is how I become really fascinated about the whole idea of using art in the light work activism. So the same way that psychologists have really worked hard to normalize the importance of mental well-being, spiritual light workers as well should work hard to advocate the importance of the spiritual well-being. I have noticed that my films have also used many stories that advocate the importance of our deep human emotions in our reality. And I have decided to use my art to advocate the idea of the importance of spiritual light work in our spiritual well-being. Recently, I've been working with children. For me, that was one of the most interesting experiences that I have ever had in my life. Why? Because the children allowed me to see an actual example of peaceful beings. And they are definitely vibrating in a higher stage of consciousness, because they carry all the good meanings of peace and love and harmony. And through them, I have managed to see methods of spiritual healing. So my aim is to make more films which advocate the importance of spiritual well-being in creating peace in our reality. So thank you for listening.